Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Idiots Review. I'm Caleb.
I'm Hannah, and we are on to the Amazing Spider-Man in our Spider-Man rewatch in preparation for No Way Home. Just it's been a process.
Yeah, so we're finally through with the Tobey Maguire trilogy. Moving on into the Amazing Spider-Man. I think I've only seen this one once,
I've seen the first one twice, I think, and the second one once.
and
I think.
it's probably been, I don't know, about 6-7 years since I've seen it. So there's really only two things that I remember about this movie. One is that the lizard looks like well, I was going to be the second one.
No.
The first one is that the lizard looks like Bowser from the live-action Super Mario Brothers movie, and the second is that ending line where he's like, "Those are the best
Those are
guys."
the best guys.
And I mainly know that from the How It Should Have Ended
If you haven't
videos.
watched the How It Should Have Ended for any of the Spider-Man, especially the Amazing Spider-Man ones.
Well, I might have to link our reaction to that video because that movie was that video was so funny.
It was funny.
But I mean, that was pretty much it. I really don't remember much about this movie, so it's technically a rewatch, but it's almost like a first time watching reaction because I really don't remember much about this movie.
But I feel like once you start watching, you're going to be like, oh, okay.
Maybe
like you may not remember like every specific.
Like I remember some major plot points, but I don't remember like the subtle details of how it gets from like plot A to plot B to plot C. Like I don't remember all those kinds of things. So there is going to be a lot of and I'm going in it with with a new perspective on everything, and with the light of things that are going to be happening in No Way Home. So I'm interested to get caught up on these characters again, so that way I can fully appreciate No Way Home.
Especially since some of the villains from the Amazing Spider-Man
right,
are going to be in it,
like Lizard, like the villain from this first movie is going to be in No Way Home,
and the second one. So it's like,
oh yeah, and Electro from the second one. Yeah, so it's definitely something that is canon now within the MCU. And I remember not being as big of a fan of these ones as I was of the Tobey Maguire ones, but like I said, it's been a long time, so I feel like maybe my opinions might have changed since then. I might have still been jaded that they weren't doing Tobey Maguire movies back then. So it'll be interesting to see if my opinion of these movies have changed, and if I'm going to enjoy it more than I did the original time watching it.
Well, then let's take a look. Oh, so he gets bit by like 50 different spiders, and that's it.
Does he? That's a spoiler. I don't remember that.
I was basing it on like there's like a bunch of spiders.
I was gonna say, I don't remember
but
that.
I do now just remember how he gets.
See, I don't even remember how he gets his powers in this one.
Well, spoiler alert.
But you're not here at home. Dad? Dad!
He has parents?
He's not supposed to have.
So I'm guessing there's a little bit more connection between his parents and how he became, like the spider that bit him that gave him his powers.
So I guess.
You just look at that man, Uncle Ben, for a little while.
Was it like school teachers or like
Teachers are in there too.
Put him down, lad. Take the picture. Put him down, Eugene. Come on, I know a right cross when I see one. Yes or no? Do I have to call somebody's father?
No.
No, I wouldn't tell your Aunt May.
like give the guy one, so no.
I know. He's like, but you should be receiving a call from his father.
Hey, before you come up, see if there's anything else worth saying.
You know what that is?
Some guy who worked with your dad, I guess.
He has one arm, so I'm guessing Dr. Connor.
Just take this off the table.
This was one thing that.
I don't need to see contacts being taken off of eyes.
This is one of the things that I remember liking about this movie was like the mysteriousness of like, they created like this this mystery about like how his parents died and.
Something
Something unique, I guess, because neither the Tobey Maguires or the
Yeah, like we never hear about his parents. So like in this one,
or
I was
the-
just like,
or-
oh wait,
yeah.
he has parents.
or in the MCU. I mean, you don't even get Uncle Ben in the MCU,
Yeah,
let
I
alone his
know, true.
parents. But so I mean, yeah, something unique to this particular Spider-Man story.
And that his dad, you know, he has an Oscorp badge.
And I mean, at least right now, it seems like, you know, the mystery about his dad is what ends up leading him to be Spider-Man, which I guess is kind of cool to have, like, you know, that connection to his superhero identity has a connection to his parents. That looks like the Oscorp building from the Spider-Man game. It also kind of looks like the Avengers Tower in... But although if they're bringing Norman Osborn from the Tobey movie, I can't imagine he's the one that bought the Avengers Tower.
Right.
Hey, Friday, can you zoom in on that?
Can you tell me who this guy is?
Hey, Edith, can you...
Oh my gosh.
Just kill me now.
Just my worst nightmare.
Like, you know, I don't even care if I'm becoming Spider-Man. Like, I just don't want to live after this. Like, I'm done. Oh, there it is. I like how his logo for the Spider-Man kind of resembles that spider, and the same thing for Tobey Maguire and his. So I wonder if that means that Tom Holland's spider was like really like
Had like this little like short like
short little stubby fat legs and like with like a little tiny like mini tarantula or something like. I mean, one thing to dodge, but how do you know how to like fight like that? Like
I know.
getting bit by a spider like automatically
that
make
was
you know
the
how to
same
learn how to
argument I
fight
made in
with
the-
Toby. Yeah, I
with
know.
Toby, where all of a sudden he like knows how to fight, and I'm like, that's one thing to.
Be able to dodge and things like that if you can sense it coming, but
Drinking?
I don't think so.
This is meatloaf. This beats all other meatloafs.
Now he just sounds high.
I know, right?
Nobody.
This is like the best meatloaf I've ever had.
Is he drunk? He's like, no, I don't think that's it. I think it's something else though. I mean, come on. He's like, it's definitely not alcohol, but it's definitely something else.
Like the frozen macaroni and cheese?
I noticed that.
I mean, does what everybody does. Starts Googling things on you. Like, am I gonna die if I get bitten by a spider? Like, ew, I don't. I did not need to see
All the wounds.
all those wounds.
Everything changed. The results were beyond encouraging. They were spectacular.
They were amazing. Although Spectacular Spider-Man is something too, so.
Including my own. Took his research with him. And I knew it.
Are they even dead or are they just like missing?
Nobody knows. I mean, they're presumed dead, but like they just vanished.
Would have been interesting if like they made a third one and like his father was gonna be like the villain.
Looks, I know in the second one they go into it more.
Ah, spoilers. No. I don't want to know. I'll learn. And shatters it like. Yeah, I don't know if I like that scene. Like that seems a little
Yeah.
too over the top.
I don't care. I don't know. We could. Or we could do something else, or we could, if you don't, I mean, like, we could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, either one. Sure.
Okay.
System ready for gene insertion.
like this. Stuff like this exists because I want to do this as a job. Like, I just get to like move stuff around and like all the technology stuff. I mean, not the science stuff. I couldn't do that, but like, you know.
I want to play with.
I just want to play around
I want
on
to play with the floating things where I can throw stuff.
and do that as a job. Like, I don't know what job that would be, but
We are, Peter, and that's a good thing. But your father lived by a philosophy, a principle, really. He believed that if you could do good things for other people, you had a moral obligation to do those things. That's what's at stake here. Not
So-
choice, responsibility.
with great power comes great responsibility. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's great. It's all well and good, so where is he?
No. You can leave a penny. You can't take a penny.
Well, and why would you leave a penny? What's the point?
You can leave a penny anytime. You have to spend $10 to take a penny. Store policy. You're gonna
What
pay.
the
You're holding up my line.
I don't have 2 cents.
You
so
can't afford your milk.
Uncle Ben. Call an ambulance! Someone call an ambulance! Uncle Ben.
You have a phone in your pocket?
Oh God, oh my God.
Well, he has to put pressure on the wound.
Oh God.
You're in Queens. I asked you a question, man. That's a gun. You gonna kill me too?
I have made fire. I saw a YouTube video of a guy who made like actual web shooters that shoot actual web. And I was like,
Like, alright, well, if we see Spider-Man in the next few months, it's that guy.
and if everybody's like, where can I buy it? He's like, I just
I made
this
it.
for me. Like,
You're like, if you could probably sell them for a lot of money if you could just
he's
keep
like
remaking
he's
them.
like a bioengineer and like a mechanical engineer or something. And I was just like, freaking super smart people.
I don't know. Can't stupid people be able to accomplish anything?
I know. Come on.
All idiots are good for is YouTube channels, apparently.
Let me get some tips.
Oh. I don't know if I like this first-person view. I mean, that shot was cool. I just didn't like the hands and like the... His suit is a lot more like reptilian looking. I don't know if that's just because he's going up against Lizard and that why they made it that way, but it almost looks like it's more like scaly and stuff in his suit than either of the other Spider-Man are.
Yeah. Eggs?
I think his suit in Spider-Man 2 is a little bit, or Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a little bit different than this one, but this one looks really like scaly.
Knock it off, man! That isn't funny!
No, I don't. No, I won't.
Oh, then he's going to die.
People die. Even Norman Osborn.
We are not finished.
Human trials.
Oh, so Norman's not dead in this
No,
one
so that's
yet.
why you were like, oh, he's dead. And I was like, I don't think
As
he's
far as
dead.
I'm concerned, it's for a
He's
week
dying.
shot. I might think that veterans
From the
From the Green Goblin
curse or
serum
whatever.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't think
Oh, he's got 2 hands.
Is that what he's trying to do?
Why is it so like? I don't know. Like that? I feel like I'd rather not have a hand.
Of course, you've never not had a hand. So.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, that's gross. I'd be like, cut it off. Like,
I mean, I assume it like, you know,
like it's still developing.
yeah,
or
it still like
whatever.
develops and stuff. But the first, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm a monster.
I like how he's like doing stuff with that hand already. Like I feel like your instincts would be to not do anything with that arm, and it would just kind of like hang for a while because you're not used to like having one.
Yeah, because he's been pretending with the mirror for this whole time.
I like to go that quick to all of a sudden, like, you know, like doing stuff with that hand. I'd be like,
I don't know. What do you think we do all day? Think we just sit around eating donuts with our thumbs planted firmly up our ass?
Daddy. Up your what, Dad? Howard.
I think. I stand for law and order, son. That's what I stand for. Okay, I wear a badge. This guy wears a mask.
Alright, well that's gross.
well, she find out he's Spider-Man already? Mm-hmm. I feel like that's too soon. You gotta draw it out at least 2 movies.
I feel like she still should have been like, what? No.
I know.
I was like, it's one thing for him to, like, you know, shoot some web at you, which is a little gross, because that could mean other things.
I mean, how much do people really know about Spider-Man yet? Like,
I know.
all of a sudden, he just like jumps off and she'd be like, did he
I think
just
she would have run over there and been like,
looking down,
did he just
like
die?
something? Yeah.
Did he just kill himself?
Find out what's going on.
She found out that he was Spider-Man a lot sooner than I thought that she was going to.
No, I knew she found out in this one.
No, not slow-mo, not slow-mo.
Keep it coming. Keep coming.
Aunt May walks in.
What the?
I don't want to see your lizard, so
Whatever was attacking them would have killed them. So I gotta go after it.
That's not your job.
Maybe it is. I really like kissing you.
It's like, oh, okay, change the topic.
yeah,
all
way to
right.
change the subject. That was so smooth.
Well, you know, it was.
That was a nice segue.
Nice segue.
So his whole motivation of being a villain and being all that is just because he wants his arm back that bad?
Well, and like, you know, whoever that guy that keeps coming in, like, I assume he works for Osborn, but like, they basically threatened him that if he doesn't finish the,
Well, I know, but like,
if he doesn't finish the, you know, things, then they're gonna, you know, whatever happened to his Peter's dad.
and he also wants his arm back that bad that he's willing just to be a giant lizard to have an arm. Like, you have no problem with being a giant lizard?
You stopped me once. You won't stop me again. I'm getting stronger every day.
No, Dad, I do not want Coco. Honestly, I'm 17 years old.
I just thought I remembered somebody saying last week that her fantasy was to live in a chocolate house.
Well, that's practical. Back me.
Distribution could enhance humanity on an evolutionary scale. One has to adapt to survive. You're not gonna get out of the way of my plan, Peter Parker!
I mean, you definitely gotta check the toilet before you sit down.
I've heard of like snakes and stuff coming up through, but this is something completely different. At least he retains his intelligence
I know, right?
when he's in the
Lost and alone, I can save them. I can cure them.
There's just something off about his face. I just wish they would have
Because
like.
he has no nose. He's like
Yeah.
Voldemort.
I wish they would have, given him a little bit of like a
More
lizard
of like a
snout.
lizard, yeah.
Yeah, something. They're just with the flat face. It just looks odd.
Now thinking straight, Doc.
Somebody's been a bad lizard.
I forgot about this.
That was a cool little cameo where you like all the fighting in the back, and he's just sitting there chilling in the front.
Why be human at all when we can be so much more?
Oh, well, I guess that answers my question on why he's like, he wants his arm so bad that he's willing to be a giant lizard, but I guess that's because he now views that as being superior.
Well, and it depends on when he recorded that because, the more he takes it, the more he becomes insane.
Oh, yeah, I
so.
know, yeah. Are lizards bulletproof? Is this,
He's just constantly regenerating.
I guess. But I don't think... obviously this is, I'm really trying to get realistic here with a movie about a guy who turns into a giant lizard, but I was like, if you stabbed a lizard, they wouldn't heal that fast, but, of course
But
they
they've
could be
enhanced the...
the serum and stuff,
Yeah.
yeah.
Didn't his costume usually have giant eyes, or is that later?
I think that's the suit in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Because I was like, in this one his eyes are super tiny.
He's making sure he's okay.
It's no concern for me, your dad.
I know.
Whatever. I die soon, right? No. You know that.
That might have been one of the plot points that I already knew, but you didn't know that I knew it.
Yes,
so...
I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, because that's part of the how it should have ended video.
Well, the whole best kind thing. Yeah.
I heard him say poor Peter Parker. Does he say that? Or
I don't know.
that's just in the how it should have ended video. I've always used that as a quote from this movie, but now I'm like, I don't know if that comes from this movie or not.
Poor Peter Parker.
There it is.
No mother. No father.
Peter, I don't got it. I don't got it.
He also kind of looks like the alien from Men in Black, like the giant cockroach one.
That's supposed to be blue.
He's like, no, not that arm. Not that arm. That's not... That's the arm that's going to go away.
Look at me. You can stay with me. Helps on the way.
You got the green serum right there. You could just make him a lizard for a little bit.
Don't act like that's your idea.
Well,
What's wrong about you, Peter?
It's also from How It Should Have Ended.
they weren't wrong.
I got you the eggs.
He's like, you have no idea how hard it was to get these.
I had to beat an old lady with a stick just to get these eggs. Is he the only Peter Parker who didn't get jacked to become Peter Parker? To become Spider-Man? He looked like he had a little bit of arm
Yeah, I was like, you can see he's
but-
got some definition, but
I had a professor once who liked...
Sorry, Miss Ritter, won't happen again, I promise.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Mr. Parker.
Yeah, but those are the best kind.
I'm sorry, that's the worst line in the whole movie.
what?
I'm sorry, but I think when rating it 1 to 10, I think I'd have to knock it down a whole point just for that line alone.
No. Those are the best kind.
That was a pretty cool little scene, but
I mean, a lot of the swinging scenes were cool.
And I mean, the visual effects are obviously much
lot better,
superior
yeah.
than the Tobey Maguire ones. Why are the moons always so big in movies? Like, the moon's never that big. Is there a
I have no idea.
end credit scene?
I don't know. It's not as bad as I remember it being.
No, it's not.
So that's something.
It's all right. I feel like, I mean, it's still so fresh in my mind right now. It's hard to Kevin Feige. It's still so. It's weird that he like was kind of worked on all of these Spider-Man movies. But it's so fresh in my mind. It's hard for me to be able to like compare. I mean, they're very different movies than the Tobey Maguire ones or the Tom Welling or Tom Welling.
Tom Welling is Spider-Man?
Tom Holland.
Big Spider-Man.
So I mean, they're very different from one another. So it's it's hard to even compare them. But I feel like I still do like the Spider-Man 1 and 2 from Tobey Maguire better than this one. I feel like this one's down with Spider-Man 3, which may upset a lot of people, but I actually don't hate Spider-Man 3, so I don't even mean that as an insult. I just think that it's not as good as those first two Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire were.
I mean, my issue with this. Okay.
Oh,
we're getting an end credit
scene.
What? A little thing opens up. And then
Putting together a team. Oh,
Doctor Strange. A little portal opens up.
Yeah.
Doctor, did you tell the boy?
Tell him what?
Did you tell the boy the truth about his father?
No.
Well, that's very good. So we'll let him be for now.
You should leave him alone.
Who was that? Was that supposed to be like Norman Osborn?
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be funny for like a Doctor Strange portal and or
like, we're gonna change the end credit scene. But yeah, so anyways, like one of my issues with this movie is that he's not like, I mean, he's not nerdy in like a traditional sense, which is fine, except he comes off more as like a aloof like skater guy and not just like someone who's like super nerdy and does all that. So he comes off not how I would like it to be. But I definitely think it's better than I remember it being.
Yeah, it's definitely better because even like I wasn't a fan of Andrew Garfield playing Peter Parker. I feel like it didn't bother me as much this time around watching it. His approach of that being like awkward and stuff is a little like off-putting and not like in the not awkward in like a kind of charming or kind of like a like cute kind of way, but it's almost like there's something off about him. But I still didn't mind it that much. And I remember watching it before. I remember saying something along the lines like I thought the movie had pacing issues, but I didn't really get any pacing issues watching it this time around. Like I remember saying like, oh, the movie like progressed too quickly or something, but I didn't get that at all. This time watching it.
The only thing that maybe progressed too quickly is that he told Gwen like.
No, but it wasn't even that. I just felt like it. I remember saying something like the movie felt like it was like choppy because of how like sudden all the plot points were like moving, but like it wasn't like I didn't get that this time around.
No.
So I mean, it's a pretty solid movie. I
mean,
all
I
around.
still do like the mystery of like his parents. Like I knew that going in. And I still do like that as a plot, just because it's something different from
something unique to this
the other
particular
Spider-Man,
story,
that we know. So I did still like that part. They really went out of their way to not say with great power comes great
that was
responsibility.
another thing, is that there was a lot of similar like plot points to that. I mean, I know that's just straight out of the comics because I've read that, and like how they did it in the Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 1. I mean, that's almost like panel for panel, like how it played out. And so, like, I understand that they were still trying to tell it, to make it as true to the comics as they can. And to do that, I mean, it's going to be very similar to that other one.
Yeah.
So there's really no way around that. And that also, I understand why they kind of just left that alone in the MCU, because they're like, we can't retell that a third time. Like, people are just going to be like, okay, like, I know. Like,
yeah, well,
I know. Like, maybe just like quick flashes or quick flashback where it's not telling the whole thing, but maybe just like seeing like Tom Holland's like
even if they
reaction to it.
Him,
something
once or twice.
Like, no, yeah, I get that.
I feel like it's weird that Aunt May has never mentioned Uncle Ben. But yeah, so I mean, this movie definitely had some things that I liked. The swinging scenes and some of that, I liked that. Like you said, the CGI is better. Holy crap! I'm in like a constant yawn. So I mean, yeah. So it definitely had that, and we did get the poor Peter Parker.
I'm just going into No Way Home. I'm just curious how all these villains are going to interact with one another and how their like motives are going to become aligned. I mean, I know that essentially they're all enemies of Spider-Man, so I mean that's going to be the common denominator between all of them. But I'm just curious to see what it's going to look like to have all these different superheroes, all these different supervillains like interacting with one another and like teaming up to take on Spider-Man. I think that, if done the right way, which hopefully it will be, could be something that's going to be really interesting to see. And like, questions I have is like, are we going to see the Dr. Connors version of the character, or are we strictly he's just gonna be in the lizard form the entire time, or are we gonna see him as, transform back into Dr. Connors and interacting with the Green Goblin and, with all these other characters, or, there's so many different, unknown factors about the movie that, I'm excited to see.
Yep, so we shall, few days, and then it's here, and we still have The Amazing Spider-Man 2 to watch. I'm only less excited to watch that one just because I remember Electro.
Not liking it as much.
Well, I just remember not liking Electro that much. But
at least he looks cooler in No Way Home.
That's true. Well, because he looks like Jamie Foxx. But yeah, so that's gonna be the next one up, and then No Way Home. I mean, yep. we're gonna watch the 2 Tom Holland ones, but we probably won't record those because we will not have time to.
We're probably gonna be watching that the night before.
Yeah, we won't have time to get those uploaded to in time. But so yeah, we will have watched through all of them. Let us know what you guys thought. Like, subscribe, and thank you for watching.